listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
Good morning. This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. I'm with...
There's something of the evil professor about that.
Speaking English as a foreign language today.
Yeah, I'm with Emily Dean.
Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner.
I'm with Alan Cochrane. And I'm Frank Skinner.
He's the loneliest man in the world.
Good morning and welcome to the show. Please text us. I mean, please, come on. Text us on 81215. You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. I don't know how everyone follows the show.
We just press follow, darling.
Do you?
I think they click on follow. Is it right?
Yeah.
Click.
We will follow Jesus. Come on, everybody.
Joining in
Early
with
on a
that.
commercial
Sounds like
radio
something
show.
1973.
Email the show or via the Absolute Radio website, which is one of those old-fashioned website things. Not old-fashioned, obviously, it's cutting edge. If you were Edge's barber, you know the Edge from U2.
Oh, you've got an obsession with the Edge.
Could you have a card in the window that says cutting edge?
Cutting.
Yeah.
I'm cutting edge.
Well, as you know, I always go on about this, but you know my gardener works for you too.
Yeah.
So he can have cutting edge. Because he does cut
Or
the
he could
edges,
have-
hedges.
Yeah, cutting hedge.
Yes.
But he could put the H in say, in brackets.
You know what? I think he's going to say to me, I'm having that.
Yeah, they can have it. Have it, have you, stupid pon.
You know,
Gardener, man.
You know, I do a Friday night trawl where I look through the emails to see what we've received
Yes.
last night, as it were.
Yeah. I love the RDFN. It's famous.
Somebody's really getting into the tune of your way of thinking. This email's just titled "Whatever Happened to ... and then when you open it, it says "Athlete's Foot," and that's it.
Oh, I like that.
I think that's still about.
I think it's still about.
You know what I like? Frank's very strict about entry into whatever happened to.
No, because
Very
I
strict.
I mean, he wouldn't let chilblains in recently.
No, again,
Is that right?
there's too many foot-based illnesses coming in. I think that must be the same person. He's thought, where should I'll start at the bottom. How many feet things do you not see anymore? Mm-hmm. And I think you do. Those are around, chilblains.
You're not even going to allow a corn plaster in? I mean...
No, because you still see those in chemists on the...
You do.
I do, in the chemists I go in. Yes.
So, Frank, you've had quite an exciting morning.
Well, I've had the best possible start to the day. But then I got up and came to work.
Oh.
And I had occasionally I get sent free stuff. And no, I never ask. I'm not one of those people who's dropping hints on the radio.
You know Beggy.
I'm not sure about that.
You think I do?
Yeah, I think. But
Go on, give me one example.
Can I be in Doctor Who? That was.
Well, that was different. That was different. That wasn't a hint. No one could call that a hint.
It's a sustained campaign.
Fortnum's Piccalilli.
Oh, yeah.
No, did I? I don't know if I asked for
Well, it went to the top of the bestseller list
it. Did I
after you mentioned it.
That was weird, wasn't it? Only for a few days, though. But that was the closest I've ever been to being Delia Smith.
To being Tom Daly with the master pan.
Tom Delia. I call him.
Tom Delia.
Anyway, I got a shipment
package?
I did get an enormous package this morning.
God.
I got several pairs of pants and some lovely T-shirts and some slightly silky pyjama trousers, I'm going to call them. Although I'm thinking of wearing them, I'm going to lounge around the house in them a la Katharine Hepburn.
And who were they from?
In Bringing Up Baby. That's the look I'm going for. Sorry, but if you get that, it's actually quite funny. Just me and you, Steve. I'm guessing there's one person who gets it who listens. Anyway, so I got a fabulous 2 bags, actually.
It was 2 bags full.
2 bags full. And after this, I'll tell you who's
the big reveal.
who's responsible.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So I got an underwear shipment
Yes.
From David Gandy.
Yeah.
I would say probably the premier male model, wouldn't you?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Norman Scott, maybe.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Norman Scott, who was involved in the Jeremy Thorpe case, was a high-profile male model. He was always described
Okay,
as
keep it light.
former male model Norman Scott. I think it was all right. No, but no one got. Well, the dog got killed. But you know,
I don't know what you're talking about since
you're
you
going to
said
make an
David
omelette.
Gandy.
No, you don't know about the Jeremy Thorpe case?
No, I don't
I'll
think
tell you.
so.
I'll tell you when the music's on.
All right.
It's not really breakfast.
No, it really
radio
isn't.
Stuff. No.
Gandhi, on the other hand,
Gandhi. So Gandhi sent me a note. Dearest Frank.
Gandhi does arrange, or he
I don't
doesn't
like
have his
calling
own
him Gandhi.
underwear
I
shop,
call him
though.
Gandhi G.
He does it. He has it at M&S.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his own shop that he's selling on the market, which is what it made
store.
it sound like. Yeah.
Emily told me she thought you needed an upgrade from your Calvins.
We should say
Emily's talks too much, in my opinion.
to new readers, you've been sporting Calvin Classics for many a year.
Yes.
And often.
And I might have shared that with Gandhi.
Yeah. So I thought I'd get you into my underwear. Kind of. You rascal! I hope you like the selection best. David. And there's pictures. I mean, he's you know,
He's not bad.
no, he's not bad. He's
Frank
all right.
is quite obsessed now. Frank's got mentionitis. He keeps saying all morning. I mean, the thing about David,
Yeah.
it's getting embarrassing.
I know.
You've got a man crush.
lovely.
Oh, Gandhi,
Can I just
came and you stopped me from wearing Calvin Classics.
can I recommend that you take a trip to the Marks and Spencers on Oxford Street after the show, where there are many massive pictures of David Gandy.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get carried away.
8 foot
with
high,
this.
I'd say they are.
8 foot high. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, that's absolutely lovely. That's very kind of Gandhi G. And I just want to wear it all. I mean, can you see me at home in silk pantalon?
Well, he's gone for the quite modern approach, Gandhi, which is the silky tee with the pyjama trousers.
Is that
which you
what they look
seemed
at?
initially slightly flummoxed by.
Well, I am of not only a different generation, but there is
everything.
a different species, judging by the, I am going to be like when you see those 50-year-old women in rah-rah skirts. Oh, I don't care. The joy of the free.
Lovely, comfortable.
Yes.
I-
So that's
I
what a
brought
lovely
pyjamas.
start to the day. Pardon?
I brought pyjamas with me yesterday because I've been
You
on the road.
expecting a long show?
No, I went to stay at my friend's house because it's nice when you get to a friend's house if you know them well enough. And I went and put my pyjamas and a vest on,
I love that.
and then
Well,
just
and
hung out in his living room.
Oh, you stayed up like that?
yeah.
I do that with friends sometimes.
That's
I'll
the trouble.
take over, just like, not onesie necessarily, but yeah, just some nice gym jams and a loose t-shirt. I'll take them over to the friends.
I'd been on the road all day in a suit and boots. I just wanted to,
So you had a vest and pyjamas?
I wore a vest and pyjama bottoms. And
I blame the landmark British sitcom season on BBC. People think that sitting around your living room in a vest has
Yes.
become the norm.
it might have been a bit of that. I don't know.
Al, did you see... Frank was very...
Did you see with Ludovic Kennedy?
Frank was very impressed by my folding earlier.
Oh,
I
yeah.
folded
I mean,
all the Gandhi t-shirts.
That was unbelievable.
And a good, but like what we call a shop style fold.
Well, there's no style about it. It was a shop fold.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
a shop fold?
They just looked like I was buying. I'd picked them up and held them up by the. You hold them up by the shoulders to have a look at them, and there's policemen listening to this saying,
Yes.
yeah, but not suspects. I'm talking about t-shirts, and then they were all crumpled. I put them back in all
Oh, they
crumpled.
look terrible.
I mean, I
Right,
love
yeah.
David, but he hadn't folded them.
No.
No, it didn't look folded
No.
around the packing area. Yeah, well, I want to run something by you on this.
Oh, okay.
Rob, because this is it's how one employs the specialist skills of one's colleagues is going to be where we're going next. In case you want to make a cup of tea.
Absolute
Absolute
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, what was we talking about? Oh yes.
Oh, the fact that I'm a really good folder.
Yes, so honestly, Emily did the best folding that I've seen outside of professional retail.
Oh, thanks, Frank.
I suppose
Means a
all
lot.
retail's professional, come to think of it. But anyway, and you may recall, regular readers of the show will know that a few weeks ago, Alan revealed that his great skill is tiptoeing.
Very good
Yes.
at tiptoeing.
He's so he can arrive late at night and get up, make a meal, joggle,
Yeah. All of that.
yeah, play. What's that game with the wooden? What's that game with the wooden things?
Cricket.
You have to pull them out.
Skittles.
You have to pull them
No,
out.
Jenga.
Jenga. You can play Jenga. You can
Oh,
do
yeah.
all that and not make a sound.
I mean, it's mainly the tiptoeing, though.
Yeah, but the tiptoeing is the great.
It's the edge of the stairs. That's your...
So I was thinking, I've got these two people, one at my left hand and one at my right, and what could we do? If anyone's got any suggestions on 8, 12, 15, I'm talking on a couple. This is like a
Do-
professional.
Incorporate our two skills.
Yeah. So what could
Folding
we
and
do with a
tiptoeing.
really good folder and a really good tiptoer? If anyone's got any ideas, 8, 12, 15. That number again, 8, 12, 15. Ha ha! Here on Absolute Radio, where real music matters. That sounds ridiculous, but you wouldn't have to move your dial very far to find people doing that unironically and thinking, God, I'm on top form this morning. That's what worries me. It's all right.
Do you
So-
think that's what they think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They'll say stuff like, just coming up to 8:30 at the moment, and the weather's looking pretty good. And then they put the music on and think, well, that went well. Got the timing and like a sort of general comment on the environment.
Why not?
No, God bless that they've got work. But
Oh, yeah.
that's my, they used to write on the old school reports, could do better.
You know, you asked the wider readership of the show for advice about what to use me and Emily and our skills for. We've,
Don't say we've had a respondo already.
no, we haven't.
Oh.
But I've got a similar thing that on my Friday night trawl, somebody's emailed titled "University." Hi guys, this most definitely isn't your standard commercial radio correspondence, but I'm about to start.
Come on in then.
I'm about to start a degree in English literature. I'm
Lovely.
pretty sure that Frank and Emily have said they studied English. Sorry, Al.
Yes. What, you studied something? Was it woodwork?
I did acting.
Housekeeping.
And I'd
yeah.
love to hear how you both found the course and would really appreciate any general university tips. Warmest wishes, David, aged 18 3/4.
Oh, love.
Hi, David.
Isn't it?
That sounded creepy. It wasn't meant to
it
be.
really did.
Goodness sake, I've got godchildren your
Hi,
age.
David.
Hello, David.
I went
Frank?
to Polytechnic
Oh, yeah.
initially.
Oh my God,
And then I went
that's
to
so cute.
university, and I thought Polytechnic was better.
Right.
I think what they should have done is change the universities into polytechnics rather than the other way around. But hey, that is a political...
Jeremy Corbyn.
It's a political stance. I don't smell a roll-ups. It's the only
No.
difference. What's your big tip for university? Don't
Well, I
grow a
would...
beard. That's what I did.
Well, that didn't really affect me, to be honest. I had a wonderful time, I have to say.
Oh, you make
But
you're disgusting.
Well, I was about to say something negative. Obviously, this is
Okay.
me we're talking about. I think the best advice I heard, it wasn't necessarily advice, but a good summing up was I had a copy of Ulysses from the library, and someone had written at the end of it 799 pages and no punchline. And there was some truth in that. So I don't know if I'd bother reading the whole of Ulysses. That's all I'd say.
You just made me think about
Well,
Ulysses.
those other radio things.
oh, don't why?
Because there's 790 odd words.
Guess
and no
what,
punchline.
Frank?
Go on.
Origami burglar.
Oh, brilliant. That would be... Don't steal anything, just make swans out of it.
Thanks, 014.
That's excellent. Now, my serious advice to David, the student, is I think one of the best things I ever did was an English degree, and it changed my life in so many ways for the positive. Although I spent about 3 weeks being so up myself that I told a bloke in a pub, I said to him, well, I'm not really interested in your opinion, a man of your educational status. And he beat the... He really beat me up quite badly. And the next day I limped into the pub and bought him a pint and thanked him for giving me humility. Good night.
Frank
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Anyway.
033 Stealth Butler, Frank.
Stealth Butler is very,
That is
very
excellent.
fine.
Also, I went to school with someone called Stealth Butler.
Yeah, I
from
can
America.
imagine.
Yeah,
I can
I can.
imagine you could have someone called
American
Stealth
exchange
Butler.
student.
It's very heartening.
Was it Stealth Butler the Third?
Al, it's very heartening. There's a lot of jobs we could work
A
together.
lot, yeah.
Stealth Butler.
Very
So
similar to Stealth Butler, Benji has texted, Em and Al could start a business creeping into messy people's houses and folding all their laundry while they sleep. I am one of those messy people, though, so it's... I
Would
be
it
doing
be all right? Would that'd still be if you got in through someone's window, didn't break anything, got in through the an open window,
Yes.
and folded things neatly and went away? Would that still be illegal?
It would be extraordinary.
Yeah, I think it's
You're not breaking.
trespass, is it?
Yeah,
it
it's
trespass?
trespassing, yeah.
So a stealth, but I might have a stealth butler. If I have, he's doing a lousy job, I'll tell you that. But that'd be the thing, is buy someone a stealth butler so they don't know.
Yeah, that would be good. For the too proud.
Yeah, like when that woman lived under George Michael's floorboards. Do you remember that? Some mad stalker. I'm saying mad, I don't want to question her human essence. Say an eccentric stalker lived under his floorboards. Listen to him walking around in them cowboy boots.
So much of today's show is an education to me, it seems.
Do you remember the cowboy
was-
boots from You Gotta Have Faith?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was back when
person
he
living under
still
his floorboards
still wore
that I don't
shoes back
remember.
then.
No wonder he can't drive in those. I mean,
What,
he
with the
needs-
Cuban heel?
He should keep a pair of flats in the car
I like
that he
a
can
heel.
just slip into.
Like a
I
heel for
think-
driving
I
sometimes.
think
Great.
shoes were the least of his problems.
Not,
True.
but not a cowboy boot for driving.
I've never tried a cowboy boot. in
It's all
my
right if you're
life.
driving cattle.
Exactly.
What about actual cowboys?
What?
Well, they have to get in their trucks now. They drive now,
No,
cowboys.
no, not the cowboys. When I was in Montana, I wish
Oh,
I
here we go.
really want them to be able to reach across for a jingle that goes. When I was in Montana, I was talking to the old timer. He said, "You guys sure do wear a flat shoe." No, all the cowboys were still on horses. Totally.
Really?
They were a bit sniffy about motorised vehicles. Well, this was 1860
Well, that's true.
in a previous life. I'm
Yeah.
one of the few people who've had a previous life who wasn't a serving wench in the West Country.
Oh, yeah.
People who've had a previous life almost always were serving wenches in the West Country in the 18th century, and they have a vague memory of a trapdoor in a barn. That's always what happens. So, I mean, what is it with people?
Yeah.
No, but what is it with people? 8, 12, 15.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
You know, we sometimes get texts that I'm not sure they're meant for this show.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
597 has just texted, I don't like it. Does it?
I think.
Well, that could refer to so many
I
things.
know.
I think that's almost. I hope it's not a call for help. I think that's almost certainly directly to this show.
Do you think,
Do you think so? I think that's normally what a detective says in a drama. I don't like it. When they've come across a piece of evidence or something, and they think it smells a bit fishy.
Yes, well,
And in the spirit of bringing people in, 373 has texted, why do you call the show listeners readers?
I don't know how that happened.
I do.
I think I was explaining the story and I said new readers start here, which is what you used to get in serialisations. And then it grew
No, that's
from
not
that.
what happened.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
That's how
You-
I remember it.
I know, but you made a mistake, and you essentially just...
Hold on. Run that by me
It's been
again.
really good working with you, Emily.
Yeah. Oh, well, back to the folding. But
Back
you,
to the fold.
you mistakenly referred to them. It was a genuine mistake, and like so many mistakes, great, beautiful things are born out of them sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah?
What, is she
My parents' marriage.
No, it's the title of my next year's Edinburgh show. I just,
look at Zsa Zsa Gabor?
yeah, I've just decided that's what I'm going to call it. The whole thing's going to be about Zsa Zsa Gabor. Do you know who Zsa Zsa Gabor is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Don't get stroppy about it. What about if I decided now that that's going to be the show, and I'm going to research her life and make an hour-long comedy show about it?
Just an hour. Go for...
Yeah, no, an hour will do.
All right, fair enough.
We can always extend it a bit for the tour, bring in Eva Gabor, the sister, who starred in Green Acres.
Good knowledge.
Ow,
Good
God.
knowledge.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Can I ask you a question? What size did Gandhi get you?
Oh.
Because that's a hard thing to judge with a man,
That's a
and I
good
just
point.
wonder whether Gandhi erred on the side of caution, or did he overestimate? Did he underestimate? Can I guess? I think Gandhi went medium because that's safe. Would you say? What do you think, Al? What would you go?
What size did Gandhi get you?
I would have got you a large in a boxer short, I'm afraid.
Because with the name Gandhi, you think there should be a very small size called Hunger Strike.
Oh, Frank.
What? It's all right. It's very noble. Yes, they are medium hipsters.
Oh.
I'd never go to a medium hipster, would you? Because, you're trying to contact your brother.
Just telling you what
yeah.
corduroy jacket to
Yeah,
get.
and he's got like silly short trousers on and no socks and a big beard. Yeah, but never mind that. Okay. So that's what
you
he got.
know?
Medium's always safe.
There's something else I want to talk about, which is I was
Right.
surprised. Okay, I'm excited about this. The name Noah is now in the top 10. The papers talked about
Took a
this.
while. Wow, that was a slow burner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, he could have got away with a slow burner.
How do you think? There were some clever headlines. How do you think the papers broke this news?
A flood of Noahs.
Oh, well
Oh,
done.
really?
All right.
Flood of boys called Noah. There was another one,
Right, first
which
time.
was Ark at this.
Ark at
Oh.
this. I like
Okay.
it.
What about the amount of people called Noahs could be represented by an upward arc?
Mm-hmm.
How would that be for a headline?
Okay, let's.
Not happy? Not happy with that?
let's
You're
workshop that a
Getting
bit
the
more.
sense you're not happy with it?
What about...
I don't think you sold it.
Okay.
Noah, you didn't. And what about that?
you...
Can we add? Oh Noah, you did.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I think it. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
no,
that's
you
better.
did.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it later.
Anyone's got any ideas
in
for the
post.
fact that it's not the top naming, but it's shot up the charts?
Oh, it has.
What
I mean,
number
it's
is it?
in the charts. It's number 7.
Number 7 with a bullet. That's Noah.
Number 1 is Oliver.
Oh,
There you
really?
go.
Dickens beats God at this stage.
Yeah, it's one for the English literature student there.
Exactly. Okay, I think Noah is. If the trouble is, if you then become a medical man, you become Dr. Noah. It's a bit too much like the Bond film.
Oh, I think that's a great name.
You think
There's some other very unusual names have entered there. There's Jackson, Jaxon.
As a first name.
Yeah.
Obviously,
With an X.
they don't do surname charts.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Is that for boys or ladies?
Jaxon.
Jaxo.
Yeah.
Come on. Really?
Yeah, well, people.
There's nobody called that.
Well, I've never met any Jacksons.
Me neither.
If you're called Jackson with an X,
I've met with a CK,
I
obviously.
suggest you tune into
I've met plenty.
a more youth-based radio station.
Grimmy.
Stop bothering us with your beautifully on-hairy ears. So, yes, I think maybe it's time
Roman.
for... Roman is one.
What would Enoch Powell say?
Like the Roman I seem to see, the river Tiber foaming with much blood. We'll be back after this.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text our show on 81215. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or alternatively, you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
And
It's up to you.
they have been. They've been getting in touch in their droves.
Droves, even.
And you put out the question, what can mine and Emily's skill set be used for? Because Emily's very good at folding.
I'm excellent at folding.
And
And Alan's a good tiptoer.
I'd say I'm one of the best tiptoers in the history of tiptoeing.
I saw some fantastic tiptoeing at the weekend.
Oh, where
you?
was that? Where did you
I
see
mean,
that? Was it
I'm
through the
not
tulips?
I'm not
Mime
questioning.
Festival.
No,
was
it was it's actually at a country show in Winchcombe.
Oh,
Do you know Winchcombe in the
no, I do not.
in the West Country? Oh, is it West Gloucestershire? Anyway, so yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't human. It was one of those fantastic things when a dog walks on its hinder legs.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, I love it when dogs do that.
And it's that tentative, that sense of, oh, it could go wrong, but it's so, it really feels to me like something very, very special when you see that in the flesh.
It's so brave of
No
them.
one was holding its hands or anything, it was just doing it. I mean, that delicate little step.
I respect them for putting their dignity on the line as well.
And their legs form a sort of a perfect circle. I'm slightly obscured by their organs, but I mean, you know, the legs have got that. I just think, oh man. So that's a different kind of tiptoeing, I know, but
It is.
what a delight it is.
But one of the
Yeah.
suggestions is quite germane. We've had a text 451 has suggested they could pack for people overnight, ready for them to go on holiday in the morning. We could tiptoe in.
Oh yes, because we do it. The silent packers.
You know that you know when you've got to get up early for the holiday and you don't want that stress, do you? But if someone tiptoes in and does your packing, you could go to bed early.
That would be
Ah.
great. And
I
also
bring
the packing would be.
The silent packers would
Very
also.
nicely folded.
We'd just leave as well. They'd never see us.
But it'd be beautiful.
And I bring this up because
I went out with a lady once, and
legend.
and she used to pack individual outfits in plastic bags.
Oh.
So a
Oh,
suitcase,
my kind of woman.
A
All right.
suitcase. If she went away for 7 days, it'd be 7 little plastic bags, and in it would be like, you know, pants, brassiere.
So for
Top.
the entire look for that day.
Yeah, but you have to be going somewhere where the weather's fairly consistent, so you
Yes.
can predict. You know, if you're going to Hawaii,
Yes.
82 degrees with a light breeze, you know what you're getting.
Well, I'm going to Utah at the beginning of the year,
Okay.
and I have no idea what the weather's like over there.
Not a clue.
If someone were care to text in, I'd find that useful. It could be 90 degrees. It could be -7.
Well, I'm thinking
I honestly have no clue
I'm
what the weather's
thinking
like
back
in
to
Utah.
John Wayne films. Pretty warm is how I would. Warm and
Okay.
a bit dusty.
Okay. Voice of controversy here.
That's how
Pretty
I'm seeing.
warm.
That's how I'm seeing Utah.
Okay.
Well, there was a reason that I brought this up, which is that Wills and Kate, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, no less, have been to Cornwall on like not quite a holiday, I don't think, but they did some holiday things, like they met some people on the beach and they went drinking. They did some holiday stuff.
Did they have an informal walkabout?
They had a walkabout, yeah. But
Do you
there was
remember that Two Ronnies joke that the Queen went on a short informal walkabout today when she hit her thumb with a hammer? Absolutely marvellous. I miss them.
Yeah.
Better than Morecambe and Wise, I think. 8, 12, 15.
Wow.
I do.
Okay.
How often do you quote a
Better
Morecambe
than
and Wise
little and
joke?
large, probably.
Well, that's a whole other story.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
there are marvellous things about Little and Large and their story, which I absolutely love. Do you know how they got together originally?
No.
That Sid Little was doing a gig and Eddie Large was in the audience just as a heckler.
Really?
And he heckled so well, in the end he got up on stage with him and sort of completely stole the show, and then sort of, I suppose in a way, he sort of kidnapped him and made him his comedy partner. That
Why
was-
haven't they made a biopic? I would watch
was
that.
good.
No, but I did an interview the other day, and they started by saying to me, because I heard that you used to go to Birmingham clubs and just heckle the comedians, and that's how you became a comedian. Complete nonsense. I think I've been mixed up with Eddie Large.
again.
Again, I'm sick of it now. I've straightened the hair, but it's made no difference. I've ironed it.
Absolute
Absolute
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Yeah, the reason I brought up the old packing is that Wills and Kate seem to have a slight packing nightmare, because he was talking to some surfers on the beach.
Was he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said we should have brought our wetsuits, not our websuits, like Spider-Man and Spider-Woman.
No, we wear websuits when we're on the webcam.
He said we should have brought our wetsuits. I'm very jealous. Living by the beach is just perfect. And then he later added, I'm feeling really annoyed that I'm not in the proper gear. You sense when he said that there was some backstage staff going into a panicky overdrive.
I thought suddenly a Chinook appears and lowers down on a rope ladder still with the labels on, two fabulous swimming outfits.
I felt for him with suit on the beach is not a good look.
Yeah.
It's either a bit Detective Inspector, it's quite Broadchurch.
It is,
or
yes, it needs to be standing next to tape.
Yeah. Or
sticks.
I'm going Piano Man washed up on the beach.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you've got to have no shoes and socks on for that. And ideally no shirt under the jacket. What I like to call Frankenstein monster chic.
Remember when the hotel porter came down once?
Oh, God, yes.
And he
came down, he was sleeping. He was sleeping behind I went into a hotel late at night.
Were you with David Baddiel?
Not a class. No, I was all alone.
Okay.
It was not a classy hotel, and the reception was closed. I hadn't checked in yet, so I knocked on the blinds, and I thought and suddenly the blinds went up, and there was a bloke standing there in a suit but with no shirt on under the jacket, and he'd clearly been sleeping there. It's fabulous.
Oh, good old Frankenstein. Anyway, where were we? Oh, we were on the beach.
What I like about this is Prince William saying to some people who live near the beach, I'm very jealous, living by the beach is just perfect. I hope at least one of them thought to say, mate, you're a prince.
Yeah,
like,
your
your life is pretty perfect. You can live where you want.
You can have a beach built in London.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, they could just grab a Chinook. Chinook, take him to the beach anytime.
Yeah, I'd Chinook it everywhere.
Yeah.
Would you? I think landing would be a problem, though.
You don't have to land. You can just jump into the water. You could
He
dive.
could with his wetsuit and his military training. He's probably got
Get one of
that
those
skill.
little step rope
Tom
ladders.
Daly would go with him the first 2 or 3 times just to show
Tom
him.
Daly?
Show
Yeah, but
him
he's got the
rope.
master pan now. It slows you down.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Didn't work. I mean, it's a terrible advert for fried food, his performance in the Olympics.
Oh,
He's gone down since the master pan.
Yeah, well, it's so tempting, isn't it? You think, well,
Yeah.
I've filled 2 of the sections with healthy stuff, but what about a bit of black pudding in that one?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a quote.
They did a few hand gestures, didn't they?
They did the gnarly sign, didn't they?
Oh.
They did the gnarly sign.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
familiar with the gnarly sign?
The gnarled hand, whatever
It's
they call
not a
that.
gnarled hand.
Isn't that what it's supposed to? It looks like a gnarled hand.
Gnarled
no,
hand
I-
is Emily's thing when she's embarrassed. She does like an arthritic claw.
No,
that
it
she
looked like,
calls-
when sometimes you shake someone's hand and you think, oh.
Frank, can we
Yes.
just establish gnarled hand has nothing to do with gnarly? Gnarly is surf speak. It means like rad.
Well, I think...
Do you know what that? Do you understand any of that?
I think you'll
Ramadan.
find that
Oh, God.
originally
Gnarled hand.
it's a Hawaiian greeting, that hand.
Yes.
And that's why it's associated with surf
I believe
culture.
so.
In fact, when Elvis did Aloha from Hawaii...
A classic.
Which was beamed around the world on satellite.
I love
that
millions
movie.
of people. He did to camera the gnarly.
It's one of my favourite films, Frank. Some of the lays in that.
But I'll tell you something. Some of the lays I've seen in films, I can't tell you. But anyway, what is it about the royal family? They're like... I have a 4-year-old child, and it's a similar thing. If he did one of those hands, we'd all go, way! And the royal family are the same. If they, like
Yeah.
she pulled a pint in Cornwall.
Yay.
Not that well. Way! Like, they're such imbeciles. If they do the most basic thing, they are to be encouraged. It's like they've come back from some terrible accident, the royals.
Isn't that...
They've got to be encouraged to
If
do
you'll
the most.
forgive me, well, isn't that what it's like, though, in the moment of the white heat of fame?
I don't think... Is he?
It is a bit.
I think if I did a gnarly in the 90s, and I did most stuff, I don't think anybody would have thought, oh, fancy he's able to do that.
Yeah, but they
It's
did
not-
say it when you just danced in your pants to the Venga Boys.
Yeah, but it's not that they think the royals are lovely for joining in. It's sort of based on the theory that one expects them not to be able to do the most basic things in life.
The dog standing on its hind legs.
No, compared to... Exactly. Now, the fact that the gnarly was in the papers, people just holding out their finger and thumb, that was in the papers. Dog on hind legs didn't get any coverage, not even locally. Shows that the world is upside down.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
If we can just momentarily step away from William and Kate's holiday, you mentioned that
It's a
you love...
newsflash.
No, not quite. You mentioned that you love Morecambe and Wise more than Thingy. No, it was the other way around, wasn't it? It was.
No, I like Morecambe Wise, but I think the two Ronnies
He thinks
are
the two
funnier.
Ronnies are better.
You also said how often do you quote them?
Well, I
And
don't think you quote Morecambe Wise, you see, because they do, like, funny faces and things.
I'm
Whereas
afraid Mark
No.
Connor Grimsby. I don't know if that's a double-barrel name or if it's Mark
I
Connor.
hope it's called Mark Connor Grimsby.
Mark Connor Grimsby would be one of those double-barrel names that nobody is intimidated by, would it? Because it includes Grimsby.
Yes, the Grimsby is quite a leveller, I find.
Frank, I quote Morecambe and Wise almost every day. When an ambulance passes me at great speed, he won't sell many ice creams going at that speed. My
Yeah, but
kids have heard
that's a
it
good
millions
one.
of times.
Yeah, but that's one joke.
It is, yeah.
I'll match that with. I'll give you
Is this what's gonna happen?
two Ronnie's jokes for that quote.
Okay.
So what about Zachariah Mole, the world's untidiest man, died today and is currently lying in a state. Good.
Yeah.
Albert Braithwaite, the well-known receiver of stolen goods, died this morning when he fell off the back of a lorry. Okay, 2-1.
Also, Emily.
Hello.
686 has very kindly texted you. Utah is Winter Olympics cold in winter
Right.
and desert hot in summer. Take your pick. Sam, London. P.S. Check out the Big 5 national parks. They're awesome.
Oh, they're on my list of things to
What
do.
are the big five? Have you ever been on
Yellowstone?
Safari? No, on Safari. They tell you, I don't think we'll see the big five today, if you've ever been on Safari.
Is that right?
I was at the World Cup in South Africa and we had some time off towards the end, so we went on Safari.
Is that the big five animals?
The
then?
big five is, I think
right.
it's hippopotamus, lion...
I'm going giraffe.
I think there's-
Crocodile.
No, but there's one. I think something like water buffalo is in the big five. How did that get in the big five?
Do you know respect? Respect for making it into the big five.
It's like, do you remember David Copperfield who was in that comedy show with Tracy Ullman and Lenny Henry?
Three of a kind.
Yeah. That's what the water buffalo's like. So it's had the breaks and it was big for a time. Like Mike from The Young Ones. Never really made it like the others did.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the water buffalo is... If anyone can text in the big five wildlife animals...
And I like the
Official,
fact-
not their own five. This is not a lists show. I want the official. The
And when
big
he
five.
says they're awesome, I like that, because I think he actually might mean that they do create awe. You look at them and go, wow.
Yes, you get
Not
filled
like
with awe.
I say awesome
I
too
don't-
much, just meaning
I've
well
been
done.
to.
What if I'm the water buffalo on the show?
I've been to the one with Old Faithful.
Oh, thanks for the reassurance.
Oh, sorry. No, you're not the water buffalo. Don't
Thank
be
you.
ridiculous.
Thank you.
I've been to Yosemite. Is that one of the big?
But I've
five?
never been to me. I love that song.
Is Yosemite the one with Old Faithful?
I don't.
Do you know Old Faithful's enormous geezer? And I'm not going into doing an online betting advert. As you online, you can get all the old odds you want for
enormous geezer, isn't
big geezer in Yosemite Park. There, Old Faithful, me old son, you.
Yeah.
Fruit? You want some fruit? Get off me. Smell of aftershave.
Where does
Disgusting.
Yogi Bear live?
He lives in
Yellowstone.
Jellystone Park.
Yeah.
Oh.
And brace yourselves. He's smarter than the average bear. Okay, Yogi. I mean, they're all there. They're
Got
all
'em
just
all.
like...
Do you think they're better than Morecambe and Wise?
Yeah.
Those bears.
I think... no, I like Morecambe and Wise, but... they're not very quotable.
I've got the Big Five here as well.
Music first, then Big Five. I'm on the edge of my. I'm on the edge of my stool. Still, I've got time to go during this.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Well, you were waiting to find out the Big Five. And we're talking about On Safari, by the way. Kirsty has got in touch to say, and she's from Upper Heyford, but she's originally from South Africa.
Oh, okay.
So she knows whereof she speaks. She says lion,
Yeah.
leopard,
You can't argue with that. Leopard's in there.
leopard,
Okay.
elephant,
Oh, straightforward.
rhino.
Yeah, good.
Now this might be the Mike from the Young Ones, buffalo.
I said, didn't I? I think it's water buffalo.
Kirsty continues, based on danger, not size.
Oh,
African
really?
buffalo a tad more beastly than your local water buffalo.
Oh.
Well, I'm
Hey, hold on, was that 5 or 4?
No, 5. Lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, buffalo.
Okay.
I'm afraid that there's a slight fly in the ointment.
Everybody's
here.
talking about pop music. Talking about
Pop music, lion, leopard, elephant, rhino.
everyone's talking about
I
animals.
don't want to introduce a
All those knowers are listening to this thinking,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind taking them out for a bit of a spin on my boat.
not just one.
Yeah. I wonder
Yeah.
if maybe
Two
the
of
Big
each.
10.
They love the double buffalo.
2 of each in
Yeah.
case one should fall off the gangplank.
I don't think that's what it was it?
No,
thought
I
it was
think
two
no,
of
I think
each
they were
boy,
meant-
girl.
Oh, whatever happened to gangplanks? You don't
Yeah.
get those so much anymore.
Well, that was a sentence I was very happy when it had ended successfully. Phew. My heart, like a pain in my chest.
What was it that your correspondent said? Something about not based on size, based on...
Based on danger, not size.
Well, we've got a text here from Ian, best Ian. Morning, guys. Big Five is hardest to hunt and kill. Less
This is taking
fun
a
already.
But has he
nasty
named the
turn.
same 5?
No, hippo, buffalo, lion, leopard and elephant. Is that the same?
No, hippo he's got in.
No, lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, buffalo.
Oh,
but
so
she's-
he's gone hippo, not rhino.
Well, I can't be responsible for
They're
these
different. They're
changes.
different creatures,
They
aren't
are different.
Mark in-
One's very rounded at the front, and the other one's much sharper.
Well, Mark and Chorley's thrown a giraffe in.
I would say
They
that
can't be hardest to
it looks
find.
like a bit like a bumping car, a hippo. A Dodgem, if there's any American listeners in.
Yeah.
Whereas the rhino, it's hair, it's matted hair, not horn.
they? Yeah.
Leave it
Yeah.
there. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's great, Big Five news, but some controversy. Obviously, the South
Absolutely.
Africans have got a different Big Five.
Yes.
Now we like to include the rhino. That's what she said when she said that. I bet she said to her South African partner who's with her, I'm going to text the Frank Skinner show about the Big Five. I tell you what, for a laugh, take out the hippo and put in a rhino. Let me throw him. He won't know him, he's from England. There you are, the home life of what was she called?
Oh, I can't remember her name now.
Kaylee from Wessex.
I believe she was called Kirsty from Upper Heyford.
Oh, that's it, Upper Heyford. Kirsty from Upper Heyford. Really nice. Okay, sorry, can you still do regional accents? Is that...
It's totally
It's
acceptable.
not
for
racist.
South
Is it
African.
racist? Can you tell me if it's racist?
No, I think that's fine.
You can't,
that's
and
good.
this shows at an end, I think.
Oh, that's okay. There's still capital. That's what I say when I'm twirling my dial. If you'll pardon the expression.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Andrew from Hampshire. Now, he is voice of controversy. He says somewhat pedantic,
Like it already.
Yeah,
but it is
is that our kind of guy?
Yeah.
the Cape buffalo and the black rhino. Hence, lion, leopard, African elephant, Cape buffalo, black rhino.
Black rhino.
Well,
I like the idea of the Cape buffalo might possibly wear a cape. That'd be a fantastic...
I would love
Oh,
it. I
can you
see him as more of a poncho character.
Well, they favour a centre parting, don't they?
Oh, do they?
The buffaloes, yeah. They have quite a rigid centre parting, and then
Are they a bit
and then
Simon
it curls.
Cowell on the hair front?
And then they sort of have curls. They look like they've took out what are those things
Rollers.
that get hot? That you
Yeah,
oh, the
put on?
tongs.
No, something. No,
Straighteners, tongs, rollers.
things that give it anyway. Those hot things that give you a curl. They look like they've deliberately
Tongs.
centre
Curling
parted it,
tongs, darling, it
and
is.
then curled it at the end.
Okay.
Water buffaloes. I don't know about the black rhino.
No, it's not water buffalo. It's Cape buffalo they're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
And a black rhino
but, you know,
and Cape buffalo.
A buffalo is a buffalo.
No, it's not. They're saying not water buffalo, African buffalo, Cape buffalo.
All
I think
right,
it's-
but
I'm
they're
just-
still going to have a basic buffalo essence. Buffalo essence
Well,
was
it's
a kid
lovely
I
that
went
we've
to
got
school
so
with.
many-
He was come from a wrestling family.
It's lovely we've got so many South African listeners. We've had some more people
Really?
texting in from there, yeah.
Yeah,
Lovely.
well, I suppose with Frank speaking their language directly, it's
Yeah.
easy for them to...
Yes, apologies for that
I might
earlier.
do some Xhosa after. Is that what it? Well, the first time I went to South Africa, I put the radio on, and there was a woman. You can't really do foreign voices now without words. You know, in the old days, people used to go, blah, blah, blah. You can't do
All
that
right.
anymore.
Is that not allowed?
I like the
Yeah,
slight
no.
note of regret in his voice.
You can't do that. Well,
I'm
I
with him
think,
on
Oh,
that.
those halcyon days.
I
Yeah.
think it can be done warm-heartedly.
I
Yes.
did
But
quite
she-
a lot of that in France last month. Was that wrong?
No, that's people really speaking.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I did it.
unbelievable, I know.
I did it to my
actually
family.
means something if
Oh,
you're
right.
familiar with it.
Oh, okay.
No, but a woman was on the radio and she was doing that
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in the midst of the. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
the impression.
Don't do it. Let's not do it.
I'm going to do it. It's not. I'm doing
This
it.
sums up our relationship.
I'm doing it in full
Don't do
respect.
it, don't do
So-
it.
So,
I'm
so
gonna do
she
it.
would be saying, "My little, I don't li- blah, 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 my little," and it sounded really amazing.
Brilliant.
It sounded like that Victor Borg sketch when he does the punctuation as sound
Excellent.
effects. But yeah, it's amazing. So there's all sorts going on in South Africa. That's all I can say.
Okay. Thank you.
That's a
Don't do
message.
it. Let the
from
record stand.
from the
Don't do it, I
tourist
said.
board.
I said don't do it. That's going to be... That is my autobiography title. I said don't do it.
What is
will say this.
A life with Frank
What's it
Sinner.
called? Is it a glottal stop or is it? It's more than that, isn't it?
Glottal stop is...
He's carrying on.
At the back.
He won't stop.
I want to know the technical term for that clicking. Any of our South African listeners will be able to tell me what that is.
They might not. They might
if
just
you-
speak it. They might not know
Yeah.
the technical term for it.
They'll know
Any
it.
speech therapists listening might know
They'll know it. It's pretty amazing. So,
it. It is.
where were we?
Well, about an hour ago we were talking about Wills and Kate, but we
yeah.
very quickly jumped onto the Big Five.
Sorry, I have to. I've got to. What's the big? When we come back, what I want is the Royal Family Big Five. Let's face it, the Royal Family have killed most of the Big Five of the animal ones, so let's get our own back.
Absolute
Absolute
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've had a text saying Exosa.
Oh, yeah. Is it Exosa? What did I call it? Xosa.
Is one of the spoken languages which has a click in it, or press your tongue to the roof of your mouth and try and tut so the sound is from both sides of the tongue.
It's that, isn't it?
It makes a kind of click.
Oh, yeah, maybe that
Oh,
did sound a bit
yes.
more like it.
Did it?
I think that is it.
See, when you just
I like that
when
word,
you're just
though.
driving round and
Exosa.
that comes on the car radio, it's like you've tuned into a.
I think one of the
different
tyres had gone.
planet. Oh, it was really
Ran
impressive.
over some nails.
Can we... I know we've talked a lot about the Big Five, obviously, this morning. You were asking which of the Big Five in the royal family.
What are the big five in the royal family? Queen, Duke of Edinburgh,
Queen
the
100.
boys, our boys,
Queen 100, our boys 2 and 3.
and then Kate.
No, she's not Big Five.
I think
Surely
she
Charles.
is.
Is she?
Surely Charles gets
Yeah,
it.
but only by marriage, come on.
No, I think she's got to be big five now. And then I feel.
What about
Princess Anne?
Here
might be
he
big five.
comes. Here he is.
But I think
You're not having Here he comes in Big
I
Five.
think Prince Andrew has probably been expelled from the Big Five.
Has he really?
Yeah.
What about Duke of Ed?
Oh,
He's not Big Five?
never forget.
Oh, he's big. I said him.
Well,
Anyway.
you've got too many. Anyway. Wills and Kate, who
yes.
let's say, for the sake of the show, they're both in the Big Five. During the walkabout, the royal walkabout, they said Kate told the farming community that she'd secretly like to be a farmer. Did you hear this?
I think she said, I'd like to be a young farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ageist.
No, I think that's a thing, isn't it? Like, it should be capitalised, young farmers. I think that's like a...
Well, there's still farmers who are young.
Yeah, but I think they're called young farmers. Like, I'll be honest, I did a gig for them a number of years ago,
Okay.
Did you?
and I have rarely disliked a good demographic quite as much as that.
Very thick in the neck.
Awful,
Really?
awful people.
Well, let's not generalise. I'm sure there are some
I mean, specifically
lovely...
the crowd I played.
Okay.
There was a young man in there with 2 rugby shirts on.
Two.
One over the top of the other.
Wow.
I mean, like, I have a problem with people wearing rugby shirts for anything other than rugby, just as a... But he's doubled that problem. Like, and he didn't realise that it was a silly thing to do until I pointed it out.
Well,
and
since my David Gandy obsession, I have a problem with people wearing shirts. I don't know why we bother if that's what we look like without them.
Yeah.
Yeah, though that sounds like a tough night. But let's not judge all the YFs on the strength
Young
of one
farmers.
crowd. Yeah.
I
like a
very
young
difficult.
farmer.
They were very entitled. And I've done Cambridge balls. They weren't as bad.
Haven't we all, dear?
Really?
Anyway,
Yes.
she...
Go on.
Sorry, Frank. No, I was going to say, what do you think? I mean, can you see her as a farmer?
I just wish that Kate and a lot of the young royals, you know, there's always a bit about, you know, they're just like us and they join in and they can do the gnarly and they can pull a point. I wish they'd join in a bit more with the national obesity crisis. Then I feel
What, you
we
mean
could...
slender,
gain
isn't
weight?
she?
Then I
Very
feel we
slender.
could, you know, really think, yes, actually they are like us. But they all look like they're working out on a regular basis, almost as if they got loads of spare time, which I'm sure they haven't.
Well, there have been some big uns.
Who?
In
Who
the
was
big
the
one.
last fat
I'm not
royal?
naming names.
8, 12, 15, last fat royal.
Listen, I'm not body shaming royals.
We're not going as far back as Henry VIII before any of you
I'm
bother.
not body shaming. I'm on au contraire. I'm saying we need someone we can look to and say, yes, they understand.
Okay, cards on the table. Here he comes. He's
Prince
been a
Andrew.
bit of a porker in his time.
Yeah, he's probably, yeah. And maybe he was. He was never, though. I mean, he's never a bloke who had to go around on wheels. That's what we need, a fat royal. Last truly fat royal, 8, 12, 15.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Don't you have to do your business, or have you done it?
I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. You can text the show on 8, 12, 15. Yes, in that order. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio and email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
We've had some...
I've just remembered last week, we did the whole thing about the at symbol looking like a Cumberland sausage.
You've only just remembered that.
Came back to me. Or tadpole doing yoga.
Yeah. We've had some breaking news
Clean
in...
that one up a bit.
We've had some breaking news in about King George IV.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently, according to 331, King George IV was obese at 30 and suffered frequently from gout and digestive problems. He was satirised in cartoons. That's from Jan.
Those are the days. When you can satirise people in cartoons for that kind of thing.
It's quite a...
I think Edward VII was fat.
Do you?
And that's the one after Queen Victoria. So I think...
Well, 106
I
has
think
offered
he
up
might-
Edward VI. There's a portly chap. There you go.
One out, as they used to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Have we put
I
that
thought
to
you were
bed?
going to say, I'm saying something.
No, have we put that to bed, do you think? I think that's
Yes.
the
Well,
the
last
fat
fat
royal.
royal.
Yeah, I think we're thinking.
Well, someone did suggest another royal, but I worry about reading this one out.
Yeah, let's not then.
Okay.
So, Kate wants to be a young farmer in one of the weirdest
Yes.
secret
But they
life.
sort of are, aren't they?
I think they sort of are. They've got a farm,
Yeah.
surely.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll
They've
be a
got
farm.
land.
They'll have a farm somewhere.
They've certainly got a
probably
very
don't,
large
probably
garden.
don't know. You know, have
don't
you ever
know
done that? You
they've
ever
lost
done that?
the
You ever
farm.
bought a book and you got home and realised that you bought it 20
Oh, yes,
years
I
ago?
do that. I do
Oh,
that with
yeah.
Brett on Tops as well.
Yes.
Oh, I've got that one.
Yeah, I bet they get home and the servant will say, Mum, you do know you've got a farm? Shut up. No, you have. You've got... Have I? Oh, well. I imagine her in one of those dairies like Marie Antoinette had out the back with
Yes.
Yeah.
Capi de Monte buckets.
The milking stool.
Yeah, but all velvet lined and stuff like that, sort of
nice.
playing at it.
Nice.
I like the secret desire, though, the hankering after another life. What,
Yes.
you know, what could have been?
I must admit, I've always fancied being a tobacconist.
Oh.
The timing's not good. I mean,
No,
it's all
the
about the
timing-
vapes now.
The timing's...
The vaping stores.
I'm not really catching the wave on the way in.
I mean, who's going to come in? Jeremy Corbyn and Simon Cowell?
Yeah, probably. But they're just those little dark shops and all that paraphernalia. A nice meerschaum pipe with a face on. Sometimes with a lid. You know them pipes with the lid?
Slightly turning my stomach, this. I suppose
Well.
there's something for everyone,
Ow.
isn't there?
Really?
I think I would have made
Oh, no,
a
I'd love
very good detective inspector.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Frank, I don't sense you're being very supportive. Why?
I don't know. I wonder if they always look a bit drab when I see them on telly.
I'm not basing the career on looks, and I would obviously abandon the sheer tight and a sensible shoe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think I'm very forensic, and people
Yeah.
crack under my questioning.
That's true. I don't know. They always look very tired when you see them on the telly. The senior police, not the real ones, but the fictional ones. The real ones, I imagine, live the life of Riley.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
the fictional ones, they're always very, very down, looking, fed up.
Well, I
Bit
think I'd have
bitter.
made
They're a
some
bit-
good arrests.
They're a bit bitter often.
Well, I would have changed that view.
And they have that problems with their management, you know, the upper police
yeah.
and, you know, the
Well,
politicians.
don't we all, dear?
The politicians get involved to make their life more difficult. And then
Yeah.
sometimes they get suspended, but they continue working on the case and ask their friends in the...
Yes, you
force
know,
to
you're
pull
right,
favours.
Frank. Infinitely preferable to open a tobacco shop in 2016. What am I thinking?
Oh, I'd rather be reaching out for another packet of Skull Bandits for somebody. Google it.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
And what about Al? What would Al have done had he not been a stand-up?
What's my secret wish?
Yeah, a secret career.
Security.
No,
Wouldn't you be a bodyguard or something like that?
quite the reverse.
No, what would you do?
I actually really like the idea of being on the run.
I can see you on the run. I see you on the run, Al.
I often have a little moment of thinking I'm a fugitive. Like, ideally, I'll have been accused of something that I didn't do, so there's always the little get out if things get too scary.
Yeah, but see, once
Like in my
you
daydream.
run, that's it. People think
that's
it's
it.
you.
But
But
I
it would
see you
turn
as
the
an
world into a
intelligent
big-
fugitive a bit. Is it
Yeah.
Dr. Richard Kimball? I can't
Oh,
remember.
yeah, Richard Kimball, the
Yeah.
fugitive, yeah.
I
Yeah.
see you as that.
I like the idea of that. I think it turns the whole world into a big game of hide and seek, doesn't it, really?
And it means you
Good
get
fun.
to stop in a lot of seedy hotels, and there's all...
Sounds
all
like my
those-
life already.
And it pro-
Or B&B. If when you're on the run, you stay in those B&Bs
Yeah, cash.
where the landlady is like, you know, quite a biggish woman, about 60, but she comes and knocks on your room at 11 o'clock and says everything okay, and one thing leads to another, and next thing you're in love.
Yeah.
Do you have those?
He'll be... He'll be...
I don't. I'm just thinking people probably do have that.
Oh, yes,
one.
I know the landlady you mean. I don't know if you've gone American or are you more... I keep a nice clean house, so I do. I'll have no funny business.
I'm always imagining she'd be called Sue.
Oh, Sue. A lot of shoes propping up a lot of doors.
Sue
Oh, yes.
shoes?
You know, that's one of my security measures that I already use for people that are new to the show. I put my shoes against the hotel room door.
Yeah.
Just saying. Have it.
What about those mother of pearl cigarette holders as well? You know, those things.
Oh, you mean in your cigarette? In
You'd
your
have
tobacco
like
shop?
half.
Oh,
You'd
he's gone
probably
back in the shop now.
You'd almost never sell one, but to just have them. I mean, the ones that are about 8 inches long. So the cigarette's over there somewhere.
I'd make my...
Smoking, by the way, don't smoke. It's really bad for you. But
I'd make my interrogation room, I'd make it lovely. You see, that's what I'd be famous for. I'd transform it. There'd be Jo Malone candles, maybe a sheepskin rug, because that's how I'm going to get the truth out of these people. They'll be comfortable. I
idea.
play a little music.
Yeah.
I wear
Good
slightly
cop.
saucy outfit. I mean, my methods are very unethical.
They are. That would be. I've never seen that. I don't think not in a legitimate movie.
No. Well,
Yeah.
and no one said anything about legitimacy here.
Good cop, scantily dressed cop. You don't get that, do you?
Anyway.
So so be it.
Okay.
So be it should be the end of every link on this show. And so be it.
So be it.
Oh, I've got some advice for. Remember the student who texted in? I did think of some advice.
Oh, this is for the embarking on the English degree.
Yeah, and there'll be lots of people listening to this now who are about to start some educational thing.
Yes, good luck with
That
that.
time of year, isn't it?
I think it's a phrase you don't hear much now, is deferred gratification.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what it's all about. It's
Absolutely love
working now, knowing that there'll be a fabulous reward. Anyone who's ever spoken with the dream of going back to a hotel room after spoken to a very dull person for 2 hours will know what I'm talking about. If you work now, you'll get your reward later on.
Yes, I would agree with
And I'll
that.
tell you when that manifests itself in my life as a
Oh,
little
yeah.
symbol. When I cut my fingernails, I find it quite difficult to cut the right hand because I'm left-handed. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? Because I'm handling the clippers with my left hand, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm not very adept with that. So what I always do the right hand first. And I think I've got that out the way now. I can enjoy cutting the left hand. Now I'm in control. I've been through over the rough terrain, and now, we haven't just tuned into an African radio station.
Doing
That's
the
me
click
that's
song.
me doing the click. But absolutely, while I'm struggling with the right hand cutting that, I'm looking forward to the left hand, thinking in a minute it'll be plain sailing. Always do the thumbs first as well.
Do you?
So
Well, I've heard that.
I can't forgive the thumbs for their ambiguity.
Oh, I love the thumbs. That's what I love about the thumbs.
I know, well, that's what I hate about when people say 5 fingers on each hand, and
bit-
then you hear them distinguish between the thumb and the fingers.
Yeah.
Is it? Have we got 5 fingers on each hand, or have we got 4 fingers and a thumb?
Here's a question,
I
boys.
think technically we've got 4 fingers.
Are these the
and a-
big 5? I would say, what's your favourite of the big 5?
I don't think that the thumb is one of the big 5. That's what I'm saying. That's a different species. It's obviously. Would it be true to say? Let me put it. This is the question. 8, 12, 15. Would it be true to say that 1 in 5 fingers are thumbs?
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
We've had some thumbs and fingers texts in,
Okay.
which you requested.
So is 1 in 5 fingers a thumb?
Yes.
Yeah, Ian Angel has texted, Frank, I think you're right. A thumb isn't a finger. Give me 4.
Yeah, very
Oh.
good.
Solid.
Ian Angel was never going to leave that one alone, was he?
That's a
all.
fine gag.
And 668 has said 4 fingers, 1 thumb keeps moving. Isn't it a song?
Isn't it 1 finger, 1 thumb keep moving?
Oh.
But you do have 5 finger exercises at the piano, which includes the thumb.
Right. But in everyday life, non-piano type stuff, I think it's widely considered that you've got 4 fingers
No,
and what I
I
think
don't
the
think so.
scientists
I think
call an
people say-
opposable thumb.
I
I
think
think
that's
people say
very-
you've got 10 fingers. That's what people would say.
Who's saying that?
Well, I think I probably would. And I
Would
think
you?
I did earlier. So
Yeah. So shut your face.
Oh, okay.
it's rather unpleasant.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I've been under a lot of pressure.
No, you haven't. Well, that Room 101 show, you've got the iPlayer thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
It's not that much pressure.
No, it's
got
fairly-
PA.
It's actually fairly quick.
Got a PA.
You earn a great
Yeah.
deal of money.
Well,
Takes some of the pressure off, doesn't it?
not like
the
the
PA
old
thing.
days. But anyway, times have changed. I accept that.
Okay. But you're very nice with it.
I still think people, they can't make their mind up about the thumb. 1 minute it's a separate thing, next minute it's just lumped in with the fingers. That's my view on it.
Well, I give your view the big thumbs up. I agree.
Well, I give it the big... no, I won't do that.
Oh, what a little loving you're both having.
Yeah.
It's turned. Can we talk about this Icelandic incident?
The Icelandic incident?
Yes.
Sounds like a spy thriller straight away. I'm already in.
In Icelandic terms, it is. This Icelandic lady got a letter, and she received it through very unconventional means. There'd been a map drawn on the envelope, which I rather loved. The lady in question was called Rebecca Catherine Cardu Ostenfeld.
I like it. It's probably wrong, but it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is wrong,
Yeah.
just if we can slightly stop.
Okay.
I thought Icelandic ladies, their surname all ended with Dottir, because it's
Oh, I
someone's
love
She's the
the way-
daughter, because she's the
someone's
daughter of
Dottir.
someone.
So straight away I'm thinking, why is she not called Ostens Dottir or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Bjorn's Dottir or... That's what
You
they
know,
do.
just looking at you, Al, talking like that, you look so like you should be on a mackerel. What do they have
Yeah.
out there? What's their fish?
Oh, no,
mackerel.
herring's Norwegian.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll tell you what you look like. A
You
very
look-
young Idorga Johnson.
Oh, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's right.
she received her letter with
Yes.
the picture on it.
Yes.
No address.
No address. It had some hint on it. It said a horse farm with an Icelandic/Danish couple, 3 kids, and a lot of sheep.
Fabulous. I mean,
like
that's
that.
what I call an address.
That
I
is...
once received a letter that said Frank Skinner, London,
Did you?
and it was still yeah.
That is-
That's amazing.
I mean, I should keep my family better informed. I know, but it's cheaper this way. No, honestly, I did. I did receive a letter, and so it made it. So that they're not completely foolish. The postal services, and this wasn't actually in Reykjavik. This was out in the.
Yes.
So how many
In the
people?
Gleisfeld.
How many people live out there? You probably knew it straight away.
Well, immediately, by it not being in Reykjavik, it's been narrowed down to
Yeah.
under 50,000.
And
I
it's
think.
quite a small place anyway, Iceland.
What's
Yeah.
the population of Iceland?
The population of Iceland is around 250,000.
Did you know that off the top of your
Yeah.
Scandinavian-looking head?
Do you know how
It's around
hot that you are looking right now?
250,000.
I mean,
And
amazing.
almost all of them live in Reykjavik. Like I think
Yes.
something like 210,000 of them live in Reykjavik. So it's immediately kind of easier to find the person.
Yes. All right.
it sounds like you've got some experience.
Was
I've
an
been there a
interest-
couple of times.
was
It's
an
great.
interesting
It's amazing,
story.
Iceland.
Did they think you were one of them?
No.
Oh.
No, they knew very well that I was not one of them, I
Okay.
think.
I just like that this is a country where people are delivering mail on the basis of a description of sheep
Yeah.
and a handwritten map, and yet they still knocked us out of the European Football Championship.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
It's heartening.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I've worked out why she hasn't got the Icelandic surname. It says in the article that she was a Danish woman with 3 kids and lots of sheep.
Oh.
So I think that's why the lots of sheep is in. But she would be called Dottir if she was Icelandic.
Oh, I had it in my head she was Finnish. Oh, it's all much the same. It's much of a muchness.
Nugget
is.
has tweeted us saying, Frank, this is how a fan addressed a letter to Don Bradman in 48. It reached him, and it's a photograph. It says, to Mr. There's a picture of what I imagine is Don Bradman, and it says, somewhere playing in England. And apparently it got to him.
Well, there's one that someone sent to George Bernard Shaw. It was just a caricature of George Bernard Shaw with the big beard. That's all that was on the envelope, and it got delivered to him.
That's good drawing, isn't it? That's good drawing.
But he's one of those blokes you could do an easy caricature of because of the massive beard. I don't know who it would be now. Who would be the easiest person for a non-artist?
Well, it was with David Bellamy later, and now...
But it needn't be a beard. It could be...
Oh.
I'll tell you what, if you could draw... If you wanted to get something to Robbie Williams...
Yes.
You could draw him in the Let Me Entertain You video where he's
Yes.
got that thing on his face.
Yeah.
You
Well,
could-
Brian Blessed, you could get something to him.
No, too many bearded men. You need something really
No,
distinct.
but you do him as Gordon's alive.
JK, if you did him
Which
with the
one?
buffalo hat.
JK. That JK.
Yeah.
Not the Rowling one.
No, she'd be hard to draw, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm not very good at drawing, so I think my map would look rubbish.
This is my point now. If there's a few people. It's like, I think the true test of fame maybe is you could go to a fancy dress party as someone. Mm-hmm. Like I reckon I could get something delivered to Jedward with a drawing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think that's fair enough.
What I could possibly send them that they could understand, I don't know.
A drawing. Not a letter. A
No,
drawing.
I'd have to I could send them a Black Nando's card.
And you've got some Gandhi pants.
Yeah, I wouldn't send them then.
No, they're too precious to you. They're your precious,
Yeah.
I
aren't
think
they?
they'd be looking at them thinking, oh, we're going to mess up our hair when we put them on. No, step into them. I always imagine it. You know when they say you can judge a lot by a person's character, if you think about them, what you imagine them doing. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
see. So when you
So
think
I
of
imagine,
someone...
when I think of Al, I think of him in a judo kit, sort of
That's good.
working out.
What about me?
I think, I don't want to make you feel bad about this because you have many skills. I do think of you in a mirror putting on makeup.
Well,
Is
I
that
thought you
bad?
said you could judge someone's character.
Yeah, but that's part of your
I think
character.
that's what he's doing.
I'm very insulted
Oh,
by
I'm
that.
sorry.
Oh, no,
I was going to say
I know.
something nice about how I saw you, but I'm not doing it now.
Well, when I think of Jedward, I always think of them leapfrogging each other.
Yes,
Almost,
I see that.
Almost continually.
Yeah.
But loving it, not like it's some drudgery, like shrieking with delight. My turn, whee! Like that kind of leapfrogging. Leapfrogging at the sharp end.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Now, a few weeks ago, our regular readers will know that Steve Hall was sitting in for the Cockerel.
Yeah.
And he tried to read out an email with a frog in his throat, and it was made me so uncomfortable. I had to pull the plug on it and stop him.
You did.
Just him going, oh, I can't even do it. It's quite a hard impression.
So we're
Yeah.
going to
In the
return
throat.
to that email.
So now we're going to
was
show
Johnny-
you how it should be done.
From Auckland.
Johnny from Auckland.
Okay. Hi, Frank, Emily and Alan. Sorry, I just got it's really difficult to get rid of.
Something about the nature of the actual email. I don't understand it.
I mean, I'm not going to give it a try because I dread to think what will happen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we should do before we...
Knee by gum, mail corner. I can't believe that's what I sound like. Anyway, hi Frank, Emily and Alan. Here's a question for you. I gather already,
Yeah.
I gather that you all still go for breakfast together after the show every week. I was just wondering what you all talk about over breakfast, considering that you've just spent 3 hours catching up with each other during the show. Is it a quiet meal punctuated by the occasional scraping of cutlery on plates and Alan asking the waitress for HP sauce? Or do you all suffer from esprit d'escalier? Is that how you would say
Esprit d'escalier.
Yeah.
Esprit d'escalier.
Bless
This
you.
is a man. Alan has just been in France for
know.
4 weeks.
Oh, I was very
Are
pleased
you
with
familiar
myself
with the
this week.
concept of Esprit d'escalier? Yes.
It's the joke
Not
you
really.
think of after.
Oh, is that what it is?
So
The
it's
joke on the stairs
Wit
type?
on the
Yeah.
stairs,
scenario.
literally.
So after you
right.
think, oh, I know what I should have said to the manager when he said I was vermin, but it's too late.
I think it's just like Descartes. I'd never read it.
It's
I've only
literally
heard
wit
it.
on the stairs.
Well, it's the other way around.
Wit on the stairs.
Okay.
Wit on the stairs.
Having missed your chance to mention something on the show, praise redacted.
I like to think that the wit on the stairs is all mine, all mine. The wit on the stairs is all mine.
Lovely, Frank.
Thank you.
And that's from Auckland, New Zealand.
So what do we do at... Well, it's
And
brunch.
he didn't actually
We
send that
talk a
by
lot.
email. He just drew a picture of us all on the front of an
That's
envelope.
brilliant
that it got
that-
here.
that-
He drew a
mate.
picture of you in a
Amazing.
judo outfit and me
You
putting on
doing
lipstick.
makeup.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What do we talk about? Sometimes I find it a group therapy.
There's occasional bits of life lessons in there.
We might have a work problem.
I think we say... I
Relationship
mean,
problem?
we obviously say quite a lot of ribald and offensive things that we can't say on air.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that.
I think sometimes, like, naughty Frank humour comes out, doesn't it?
Some of
Just-
that. And I think
Frank drinks a Cocoa Rita.
I always have a Cocoa Rita. A Cocoa Rita is a mocktail. That is a non-alcoholic cocktail.
He loves it.
That's the one thing we don't have in common. It's non-alcoholic. But I am alcoholic. So ironic that I should have to drink it. But anyway, that's the way it goes. It should be called an alcoholic cocktail for alcoholics. Anyway, the lovely thing about it tastes all right, but the great joy of it is the salt around the edge of the glass.
I love that salt. You're like a... Oh, no, you're
love
the
salt.
opposite of a slug.
I love salt. I once read the whole of The Great Gatsby with laying on my bed in just my pants. This was before the day I had nice pants. When I lived alone in a bedsit, and I filled my navel. I'd seen it in a film. I filled my navel with salt, and ate 3 hard-boiled eggs, dipping it in my navel as I read The Great Gatsby.
Well, that's one the most disgusting bit of the show.
Maybe I should I have saved
this
that
show?
saved it for brunch.
I would say of my whole life, and I've been around, that's the most disgusting thing
Oh,
I've
come
ever
on.
heard.
Oh,
The crippling irony of this is that at brunch, if we start talking about food, Frank goes, "Stop talking about food, that's what normal people do, it's
I
boring."
always say, if you're going to talk about stuff like that, wait till you're with your normal friends.
And yet you tell us about your boiled egg in belly button story.
Well, I can't use that on my normal friends.
What are we going to do about this? It's horrible.
I think it's perfectly... what's wrong with it? I was clean.
Well, I'll tell you how
ish.
I would have described, prior to the salt and navel debacle, I would describe the brunch as my safe space.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
I love
nice.
it.
It is. It's very nice. We often talk about how much we admire other radio presenters. Anyway, thanks for listening. If the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. Now get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.